What is the sum of 5 plus 5?
10.
10.
10.
10.
What two numbers add up to 10?
8 and 2, 4 and 6.
10 minus 0.
9.2 and 0.8.
Negative 6 and 16, right?
9.888 to 0.1. Are we going to stop?
These two questions, that both rely on simple addition, differ only in the way they are framed. In fact, all questions are the frame into which the answers fall. As you can see, by simply changing the frame, we can dramatically change the range of possible solutions. Because whether we realize it or not, we all create frames for what we see, hear, and experience all day long. And those frames both inform and limit the way that we think. Yet, in most cases, we don't even consider the frames. We just assume we're looking at the world through the proper set of lenses. But being able to question and shift your frame of reference is key to revealing new insights.
Did you know that reframing was involved in transforming IKEA from the small Swedish countryside business to the multinational empire it is today? In 1953, IKEA was faced with a logistical problem. Business was growing and they needed a bigger furniture warehouse. But instead of renting distribution centres, they reframed their products to flat-packed and lightweight furniture sets that take less room in warehouses and even on trucks.
We all know the fast food giant McDonald's for its burgers and fries. But not all may be aware of the far-reaching extent of its property empire. Most fast food franchises make money exclusively by selling their name and proprietary formulas. But McDonald's reframed and diversified their revenue stream. Rather than just relying on food sales, they also became the primary landlord to many of their restaurants across the globe. It's a brilliant strategy that insulates them from the ups and downs of the burger flipping business. These radical breakthroughs came from a changing of perspective. Something we all can do with every problem we solve.
In this candle problem, we give participants some thumbtacks, a candle and a box of matches. The goal is to attach the candle to the wall and light it without bringing the house down. If you haven't done this before, pause the video and try this on your own.
Just off the top of my head,
So I have to really place it on the cardboard.
I'm thinking that you can make a hole.
Okay, so it can't drip and it just can't burn.
And I cannot use anything else to light it up, right?
So why is this problem difficult? And what is it that hinders us from thinking outside of the box?
It is the concept of functional fixedness. Functional fixedness is a cognitive bias that limits people to see an object only in the way that is traditionally used.
Well, I haven't used the box yet.
I can do whatever I want to do with this, right?
I actually thought of using the base.
The only thing that I thought about when I saw the matchbox is just the match to light up the fire.
You did it.
Yay! But then you never know that, the part of the box is actually is a tool.
So, the first hack to reframing a problem is to see all of the pieces, not just the composite. Another way to open the frame when solving a problem is the simple but very important process of asking why. This helps us get out of the magnifying glass trap and see the bigger picture.
For example, if I asked you to build a bridge for me, you could go off and build a bridge. Or you could come back to me with another question. Why do you need a bridge? And my response could open up the frame of other possible solutions. From digging a tunnel, to riding a boat, to using a zip line or flying a hot air balloon. And you may open the frame even farther by asking why I want to get to the other side of the river. This further broadens the range of possible solutions.
Albert Einstein said, "If I had an hour to solve a problem, I would spend the first 55 minutes determining the proper question to ask. For once I know the proper question, I could solve the problem in less than 5 minutes."
Many times, we may think we know the solution, but it may not actually address the problem. So, take a conscious effort to resist the need to have an answer all the time. And that also means of not being afraid to make blunders. Reframing happens through trial and error, test and learn.
Because even the seemingly dumb, impossible, or impractical ideas can unlock new opportunities. This is the concept of intermediate impossible that was coined by Dr. Edward de Bono.
After all, some of the greatest inventions of all time came from experiments and even mistakes.
The superglue was an all too sticky failure for making plastic gun sights, and it was later used to seal up battle wounds in the Vietnam War, before it became the popular household product we know today.
Crazy glue in tube or pen.
The artificial sweetener was discovered by a chemist who forgot to wash his hands after lab work.
Sweeter, the little giant of sweetness.
And Play-Doh was a cleaning product for filthy wallpaper. The company was headed for bankruptcy before it attracted the likes of children.
You can make all sorts of great things with a Play-Doh Fun Factory. I made spaghetti!
And one last piece of advice. Let loose and have a sense of humor. Humor is essentially reframing in action. Because reframing is not just some lofty concept limited to the intellectual few, but it's happening all the time, in our everyday moments, in everyday situations. And some of the most interesting perspectives come from kids. So let's keep our frames open and see things in a brand new light.